All right, we'll see you then, Ed. Tonight, an undercover I-Team investigation, 2 months in the making. Our hidden cameras caught judges goofing off on your dime. I-Team reporter Joe Bergantino shows you what these judges were doing while on the clock and how they almost got away with cheating taxpayers.
Say good morning to Judge Edward Rocket. Salary about $113,000 a year. On this date, Rocket arrives at the Middlesex County Probate and Family Court in Concord around 9:44 a.m. At 10:57 a.m., there's Judge Rocket leaving the courthouse. Total time on the job, 1 hour and 13 minutes. What are Judge Rocket's hours supposed to be? Listen to one of the Chief Justices in charge of all state courts.
You must be at the court basically before 9, by 9, and not leave before 4:30.
So what else did Rocket do that day? By 11:30 that morning, some errands in Salem and a visit to a new hotel developed by Judge Rocket's family. Just after noontime, more errands in downtown Marblehead, and by 12:30, back to his house for the rest of the afternoon. An unusual day for Edward Rocket? No. The I-Team watched this judge for 5 days. Every day he arrived late and left early. On one day, no sign of Judge Rocket here at the courthouse. We found him painting lawn furniture in his backyard. Average number of hours worked over 5 days, about 3.5 hours a day, and that's including an hour for lunch.
Judge Rocket, I'd like to talk to you about your work habits, sir. Watch you for several days. One day you didn't work at all. One day you worked for an hour. Another day 4 hours, 5 hours. Never worked a full day.
Well, I disagree with you.
No, we have the videotape to prove it, sir.
Well,
why are you working those hours? Why aren't you putting in a full day?
I think you'll find if you talk to the people and the litigants that I put in a very full day and a very hard day.
We've watched you. We saw you painting in your backyard.
I'm sorry, I disagree with you.
No, we have you painting in your backyard, sir. Why won't you talk to us about it?
It's not necessary, that's why. Now, furthermore, I want you off my property.
So are Judge Rocket's work habits the exception or the rule? In a 2-month investigation, the I-Team found 3 judges here at the Middlesex Probate Court, including the judge in charge of this place, cheating taxpayers, getting a full day's pay for a lot less than a full day's work. One of those judges, Judith Dilday. We watched her for 4 days. Every day she left early. Average hours worked about 5 hours a day. On this Monday morning, she shows up at the Middlesex County Probate and Family Court in Marlboro a few minutes before 9. At 12:30, Judge Dilday leaves the courthouse and heads to a supermarket in Somerville, where she stops at the film counter and does some shopping. 1:50, she arrives at the courthouse in Cambridge, but doesn't stay long. 2:35, Judge Dilday's workday is over. Total time on the job, 4 hours, 22 minutes. Rest of the day, a visit to a bank in Cambridge, and then around 3:15, a nail salon in Brookline. At 4:30, Judge Dilday leaves the nail salon and drives home to Dorchester. What's going on here?
Why aren't you putting in a full day, though? And taxpayers pay you for 8 hours. Shouldn't you be working 8 hours?
I believe I am working 8 hours, sir.
Well, the days we watched you weren't. And you were working 4 or 5 hours. And how do you...
Notice whether I took lunch or not?
Yeah, you left the building after 4 or 5 hours.
So who's in charge of this courthouse? Meet Beverly Borstein. Title, First Justice, Middlesex Probate and Family Court.
She's required to monitor the work hours of the judges in that court. She's required to run that court, in essence.
The I-Team watched Judge Borstein on 3 days. She put in 8 hours only one of those days. Average hours worked, about 6 hours a day. On this Tuesday morning, Judge Borstein arrives just before 10 a.m. and ends her day shortly after 2:30. Time on the job, 4 hours, 51 minutes. After that, she went shopping at the Chestnut Hill Mall, and by 4:15, was back home at her luxury high-rise in downtown Boston.
What kind of court you running here, Judge? You got judges who are working no more than 2-3 hours a day?
That's all?
Yes, yeah, we've watched them, Judge. We've watched you, in fact. Yeah, you're not putting in a full day. We saw you shopping at Bloomingdale's during your work day. You got judges who are not working they're working 2, 3, 4 hours a day.
I understand the job, sir.
No, I understand the job. Our taxpayers understand the job. Why aren't you doing your job?
Okay, thank you.
No, why aren't you doing your job? Judge, Answer the question for the taxpayers.
No answer. Her boss's reaction to what's going on in this courthouse?
It's wrong. It's indefensible. It's inexcusable.
Punishment for the 3 judges? Listen to what Chief Justice Mulligan first told us.
Each one of those days where they did not work a full day, they will be charged a full vacation day.
To be honest with you, I think the public will want more than, take a vacation day. It's equivalent of stealing from the taxpayers of Massachusetts, isn't it?
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's the equivalent of stealing. Does the public have a right to be outraged, incensed by this? Yes, it does. Yes, the public does have a right.
A week later, Mulligan decided on some stiffer punishment. For all 3 judges, 2-week suspension without pay and the loss of several vacation days. For Judge Borstein, she was removed as the top judge in the Middlesex Probate Court. She's accepting that punishment but contesting her suspension. Now keep this in mind, long before the I-Team started following these judges, a state commission labeled our court system one of the most poorly managed in the nation. I'm I-Team reporter Joe Bergantino, CBS 4 News.
And we have had quick reaction to this I-Team investigation. Dozens of people calling and sending us email about judges sleeping on the job and what's described as other outrageous behavior. If you have information you want to share with the I-Team, drop us an email. The address is iteam@cbs4boston.com.